What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about Joseph Parker versus Zhang, the statement by Gervonta Tank Davis, and more when we return. Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean. And like always, we're going to get in the thick of things and break down some boxing, analytics, and things of that nature. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. So I want you to bear with me because I'm going to refer to my phone and I want to respond to some things to my guys in the boxing group. And if I leave anybody's name out, please don't take it personal. I'm just kind of going through and responding to some of the topics we talked about from today and yesterday. All right, so we have here post I had made about Joseph Parker versus Zili Zhang, which will be in like 2 weeks. I said I won't bet against Joseph Parker, but every blue moon, rarely I have. But I could see Parker getting the win. Parker, to me, between him and Zhang, he's more agile. He's more mobile. He has better footwork. He has better speed with his hands, better head movement. To me, he's all around more efficient. I think what Zhang has on his side, obviously, is he's taller. So he has more range. He has more length. He's a southpaw. And he hits harder. So if he can land that bomb, of course, like any fighter, if he lands the bomb, he'll probably put him to sleep. But I could see Parker taking that punch, even if he's dropped, getting back up and picking his shot smartly. He's not going to be like he did against Joe Joyce. Mind you, too, Joe Joyce is a pressure fighter who relies on his chin. Zhang does not pressure you like Joe Joyce. He's not constantly coming straight forward and throwing mass punches and has a high engine where he could punch so much that he's not going to punch himself out. I think it'll be more of a pace with Zhang. He's going to run a pace, his punches, his punch placement, and like I say, he's a southpaw, so I think Joseph Parker will definitely watch out for that left hand, more so than his right hand. He'll try to negate his power punch. And Parker's very, very smart. He fights everybody, so I think he's not getting the proper credit he deserves as a boxing technician. So I just want to respond to a few people. So you had Victor saying, you're a Zhang fan, but you're not sure who will win, but really hope it will be Zhang. Paul Keynes, shout out to you. We talk all the time. You said his punches did nothing against Joe Joyce, and he caught him with a few punches. Bit like the Parker-Wilder fight. They did no damage, and if Zhang catches him, it's good night. I want Parker to win, but reckon he's got much power. So my response to that is basically, I say to that is Joe Joyce's resistance, his chin resistance, is better than Deontay Wilder's. Not saying Wilder doesn't have decent chin resistance, but it's not to the level of Joe Joyce. So we can't look at it that way. Zhang was buzzed by Philip Herkovic when they fought. And Parker has never shown signs of really gassing out, whereas Zhang has. And I think Parker will try to get him to get past 6 rounds to 7th or 8th. And if he sees the fatigue starting to set in with Zhang, he'll start turning up. He'll start going after him and really trying to throw overhands and body shots and a lot of power punches trying to get rid of the threat, which would be Zili Zhang. So, look more, shout out to you over in UK. You said, a good fight. Parker is a tougher fight for Zhang than Joyce, even though Joyce beat Parker. Serious respect on Parker's name, going Wilder and Zhang back to back. And if he wins, he's a major majority in the mix. I definitely agree. Bob Ocott said Zhang for the W. Thomas Stout, you said this is a flip of the coin for me. So that's basically a 50-50 is what you're saying. Mr. Dixon, you said you as well, so you agreed that you're rocking with Parker as I am. So yeah, we're going to look forward to this. So just comment in the comments below on your take of Zili Zhang versus Joseph Parker next month in the beginning of March, the second weekend, I believe. Someone else says, I believe Parker will win. Zhang's stamina is suspect. So you're feeling like I feel. After 6 rounds, he's going to start showing signs of fatigue. And when he starts to slow down and not be able to respond, his reflexes are slower because he's tired. That's when the opponent will really try to bring on the pressure. And John Briggs, you said Parker for you as well, based on mobility. And that's what I just spoke on. I think he's better all around technically. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the few inches height and a few inches of the punch reach, but he has everything else in his arsenal. And then we have Baker's America. And you said, again, Parker is getting parked. So I guess the way I take that is you're saying he's going to get stopped. He's going to get either KO'd or TKO. So that was a funny caption. So shout outs to everybody. And like I said, just comment below on what you think as far as that. So I also made a post regarding Gervonta Tate Davis. And he was responding to, I guess, a fight that was supposed to be set up with Conor Benn of UK. And he was responding to Conor Benn, but making references to Eddie Hearn. And he says, you will beat the dog S out of you, which I interpret that as being he meant he would beat him. And then he says, we all know this. I was just trying to be good for the sport and beat your A and your hometown. But the spoon-fed, quote unquote, you know what he said, keeps trying to cheat me out of my effing money. Let me respond to that, because I'm a Tank fan. I follow Tank. But I just can't really see, of all the things I've heard of Eddie Hearn, yeah, some people say he's kind of arrogant and cocky as a promoter, because he's that younger promoter, up and coming. He's always got his face on the scene. He's always doing interviews on IFL, Boxing Social, and a lot of different other platforms and stuff. So he's always trying to market his fighter. He's always trying to pair up a decent match. Now, with Tank saying what he said, I would have to disagree just based on others who've done business with Mr. Eddie Hearn. You had Jarrell Miller, who says his relationship with Eddie is a love and hate relationship. But what he did specify was, he gets on my nerves sometimes. I love him, I hate him, but he's never got over when it comes to my pay. He said, whenever I was supposed to get paid, I was paid on time, and I was paid very well. You have some promoters where you hear fighters saying, I left this promotional umbrella because they had issues paying me on time. Adrian Broner was one who said that himself in a podcast or two. And then somebody replied that Adrian Broner wasn't a credible source. Well, let me respond to you. Much respect to you, bro. But I feel like You can't look at AB just because he's had a vice and issues in the past with, drinking, and that's been, one of his demons that's kind of interfered with his career in boxing. But that aside, I think what he says sounded logical. It didn't sound like it was just something he would make up. Like, I mean, what's he benefiting from saying Al Heyman is not paying me on time and he's giving me broken up payments, for my fight purses? Now, he's a PBC fighter. Somebody else under the PBC umbrella is Deontay Wilder. He's also made accusations that it was issues with his money, that he wasn't getting paid all his money up front, or at least he wasn't getting it on time. So why would two people under the same PBC be saying the same thing and it don't be true? And I don't know, there may be other sources out here saying the same thing. Those are just two that I knew about. And if you want to debug me, like I say, we try to get documents or receipts, screenshots or whatever, post it in the group, reply to me or whatever. Talk about it in the comments here on YouTube. But Deontay Wilder and Adrian Broner are both saying they've had issues with their money. Now, is that Mr. Al Heyman? Is he the issue there? Is he the common denominator? Or are these two guys just making something up on this man? You decide. And then I think the last thing I wanted to talk about was somebody made a post about Mike Tyson. Edward Flowers, what's up, man? So yeah, you said, okay, that's it. I'm not taking it anymore. Mike Tyson and his fans should be the last ones complaining about dirty fighting. Mike was one of the dirtiest boxers of all time. This is not even a fraction of his dirty fighting. So he has about 12 or 13 different clips showing Mike Tyson throwing an elbow when he was in close range, and maybe grabbing a guy's arm, up under his arm and putting pressure on it. Yeah, you could say those are tactics that fighters use as an edge to get over. And a fighter who's coming to win will mix in tactics that are not necessarily ethical. However, there's not just Mike Tyson. My thing is, if a person opens a can of worms and you say Mike Tyson had dirty tactics, then you can't leave out Holyfield or anybody else who did dirty stuff. Gulata was punching Bo in the groin time after time in their fight, punching right in his jewels. And then you had Holyfield, which a lot of people, Lenny Sluis, did an interview here a few years ago, along with Mike Tyson, and they're claiming that Holyfield always used his head as a ram to headbutt people. So you're going to always have people on either side of the spectrum that were in the ring together, or people who spectate like me and you. They're going to say that a person was a dirty fighter. But I mean, that's a term I won't say people use loosely, but it's a term that can be used for so many fighters. So many fighters have some type of dirty tactic they do. That's just the nature of the beast of that sport. They try to press the borderline of what's illegal and what's not legal. And they try to see, hey, can I do this in front of this ref and him not warn me or nobody pay attention? Because if you remember, after the alleged headbutt of Holyfield versus Tyson back in like 1996, Mike Tyson kept looking at the ref like, hey, man, this man's fouling me. Are you going to do something about it? And that's when the infamous the ear biting situation happened that people will always remember, Mike Tyson biting Holyfield's ear. So let me know what you think, with the Holyfield situation. Is the headbutts just unintentional, or do you feel like those were pre-planned, that he snuck them in there in a slick way to get away with it? Comment below. And Mike Tyson, people talk about his elbows being thrown and him taking people's arms and putting pressure on it in fights. So Hey, this is an open platform. Every opinion is welcome as always. Comment below. Please like, subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you around. Peace.